Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Ms. TV Total Football. We've got some tantalizing news to go through today. Nico Williams, we're going to delve deep into this conversation. Paul Pogba returns, man. I can't wait to see him back on the field. We'll talk about that. And Bryan Mbeumo, who was thought to be going to Man United, there's rumors that now that Thomas Frank's gone to Spurs, he's going to try his level best to bring Mbuemo to Spurs. Can you imagine if Spurs actually end up doing this mud on United in a gargantuan manner, on top of all the mud that they already have on them? So now, let's start with Nico Williams. Ladies and gentlemen, I was, as you all know, Chelsea fan. I'm a Chelsea fan. And there's been a lot of briefings over the past 12 months that Nico Williams Nico Williams is a concrete target, number one target for Chelsea Football Club. We admire him. We want him so badly. We are looking to do something financially crazy. All of these briefs predominantly coming from Fabrizio Romano. And now all of a sudden, ladies and gentlemen, Nico Williams, well, he's apparently going to Barcelona. He's had conversations with Barcelona. Look, let's be honest. I always knew he was going to Barcelona. He always preferred Barcelona. Bayern Munich have been in the conversations. But I just wanted to highlight that this player, don't take us for fools. Look, Chelsea, as much as all the briefings are there, we were never going to do a business like Nico Williams because he's too much. He's too good. We can't. I know a lot of people will say, what do you mean too good? Look, don't throw stats at me. I know when I see a very good player, and I've seen a very good player in Nico Williams, especially when he's played for Spain. And once he goes to Barcelona, links up with Yamal, yeah, you guys will all see what a stupendous player this kid is. He is a kid. I'm pretty sure he's what's Nico Williams' age? Nico Williams' age 22. Yeah, he's a kid. He is a kid. So look. Never bought the fact that we've been linked with Nico Williams, and he was always destined to go to Barcelona. Let's have a look at the news, ladies and gentlemen. And apparently the word is he's willing to take a pay cut. If he gets the move to Barcelona, he's willing to take a pay cut. He's on ridiculous wages at Athletic Bilbao. And that's one of the constraints that Chelsea Football Club felt that they had with Nico Williams, because we're not going to be able to fit him in that 150,000 wage structure. I don't know how much Barcelona is going to offer, but they're going to offer a bit more than that, I'm pretty sure, but nowhere near as close to what Nico Williams is probably earning right now, which is in excess of, I think, somewhere around 200 to 250,000 pounds per week or euros per week, whatever the case is. Look, this is the latest, ladies and gentlemen. More on Nico Williams. Barcelona got clear message from the player on being open to joining the club this summer. Bayern are willing to make an effort. He's still on Arsenal's list while Barca have their chance. Arsenal, get rid of this BS list that you have, just like us. We're not doing, none of us, either us or you guys, we're not doing this deal. Leave it for Bayern Munich and Barcelona, for clubs that are actually going to be able to do this. Athletic are ready to offer a new deal if he stays. Look, I think Nico Williams always have shown interest to join Barcelona. It just never materialized over the last 12 months or so. Now, finally, it's coming to a situation where it can, where it can happen. So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, let me know your thoughts about Nico Williams going to Barcelona. I think he's going to light it up. I mean, that combination between himself and Yamal in the Spanish colors moving into Barcelona, I think it's going to just be stupendous. They're going to look to win it all this time. Obviously, they won the La Liga, they won the Copa del Rey. They're going to look to win the Champions League next season and maybe even do the treble once again. Barcelona will be looking to do that. So yeah, let's see what happens. I think this is a sensational move for Barcelona. I can't wait to watch them in La Liga next season. But all of this BS nonsense about him joining or him being number one target for Chelsea and Arsenal, please, especially the Chelsea one, please, less of that. After meeting with Bayern twice, Nico Williams met with Barcelona today, as Sport reported, and Lamine Yamal has just shared this picture on his Instagram account. Yamal's buzzing. Yamal is absolutely buzzing to have his partner in crime join Barcelona. What's going to happen with Rafinha? I'm pretty sure Rafinha will continue, of course, but sooner or later, I'm pretty sure you're going to see Nico Williams take that spot. But don't disregard Rafinha. Rafinha's had a stellar season, Ballon d'Or contender. It's not going to be that easy for Nico Williams to just waltz in and take over. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, let me know your thoughts about Nico Williams to Barcelona. I think that's a sensational move. Next up, AS Monaco have offered a 2-year contract to Paul Pogba, with talks underway. Negotiations and discussions over project continue this weekend to try reach an agreement. Monaco are working on both Ansu Fati and Paul Pogba deals. Fati, look, I was very disappointed in Fati when he came to Brighton. Injuries bothered him, but injuries have always bothered him. Didn't do much at Brighton, didn't do much at Barcelona. Now he's going to Monaco. Let's see what Fati can do at Monaco. But Pogba, Paul Pogba, after all of that drug scandal stuff that has happened in his life, where he's been banned for, I think, close to 3 years, now he's finally back, and a whole heap of other stuff that's happened to him in a personal life. His brother is crazy, man. His brother's up to no good, and then he's had massive family issues. So look, hopefully all of that is beyond him. Really looking forward to seeing Paul Pogba back on the field. Monaco, good. I believe Monaco's in the Champions League, so Paul Pogba will get Champions League football. Monaco's a very good team in French Liga. The only issue I've ever had with Paul Pogba, and I know a lot of people wanted Paul Pogba once upon a time at Chelsea. Obviously, he's gone back to Man United the second time around after having a very good season at Juventus, if you guys remember. Very good stint at Juventus. Prior to that, he was at Man United. And his Man United second stint, even though there's been some very good games, but overall it's been underwhelming. Look, I've always said Paul Pogba is a fantastic player, fantastic midfielder. One of the best that we've seen on the ball, off the ball. Is just phenomenal player. We're going to get to see that again for Monaco. But my only problem with Paul Pogba is his attitude. All the other baggages that he carries outside of football is a bit annoying. He always attracts unnecessary, stuff that just brings the club to disrepute. Is that the word? I think that's the word. Brings the club, unnecessary attention. Basically, that's what I'm trying to say. But hopefully all of that is out of his way. He can concentrate on football, and Paul Pogba can show us, once again, he's been out of football for a very, very long time. So how long is it going to take him for him to get back into full shape, full form again? Does he ever get that back? I don't know. He is 32 years old, by the way, so he's getting older. But, when you're that talented, now he can work more with his brain as opposed to just purely physicality. So let's see. I think this is a very good move for Monaco. The world needed Paul Pogba to be back, and I can't wait to see him play for Monaco and in the Champions League. So let's see what happens there. Last but not least, ladies and gentlemen, breaking. Tottenham have launched a 70 million bid to hijack Man United's move for Bryan Mbeumo. Spurs offer is worth 65 million plus 5 million in add-ons, 10 million more than United. So United, they were dilly-dallying around for far too long. Thomas Frank goes to Spurs officially. He's the manager there. And he thought, do you know what? Mbuemo, he's been doing madness for me at Brentford. Bring him to Spurs and he can do madness for me at Spurs. Look, if Spurs actually pip Man United to do this, and don't forget, Spurs are in the Champions League, So Mbuemo, as much as he's already put out his preference to join for Man United, a lot of that can be changed. Knowing the fact that Thomas Frank was his old manager, is going to be, at Spurs. Spurs are in the Champions League. I'm pretty sure Mbuemo would love to play in the Champions League. This would be a sensational move. I think it would be a top move for Tottenham, man, if he goes to Spurs. But look, where is he more inclined to win trophies? I mean, Spurs off the back of their Europa League, are they now going to win trophies? I don't know. Are Man United down the track closer to winning trophies? Ruben Amorim got a lot of hard work to do. But this player getting away from Man United, that is a massive, massive blow. That is a massive blow to Man United. I think Man United banked on getting this player, and the fact that if they don't get him, this is what happens when you dilly-dally too long. And Brentford, they know they've got themselves an absolute stunning asset, and they want to make sure that they get the right price for him. I've got no issues with that. Absolutely got no issues with that. Brentford deserve to get as much as money as possible. Wherever Mbuemo goes, I think it's going to be a big hit. It's going to be a huge, huge hit. Ladies and gentlemen, let me know your thoughts about Mbuemo to Spurs. Can that actually happen? Is he still going to go to Man United? Let me know. Early days though. But yeah, big news, Nico Williams, Paul Pogba to Monaco. Let me know your thoughts about both of those in the comment section. Smash up the like button if you're here for the first time. Subscribe, hit the bell notification to stay in touch with all my content. Till next time, take care. See ya. Bye.